Hi, welcome to our podcast, Above Deck, a below deck breakdown podcast. I'm Sarah Goldman, a photographer and former marine biologist living in Charleston, South Carolina. And with me is my college roommate and co-host, Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly Busby, an executive assistant and former radio host living in Columbus. Together, Sarah and I hosted the Socks with Sandals radio show on WFAL in Bowling Green, Ohio. And we are back this week to discuss Below Deck and our love of all things Bravo.
Every week, we recap an episode of Below Deck, share a few laughs with the captain and crew, and discuss what's new in the Below Deck universe.
So today, we'll be discussing Below Deck Med, Season 8, Episode 5, Max Tension.
Here's your recap. The interior team is getting along, but Jessika heads to the hospital with a sore throat. Laura is promoted to lead deckhand, and the deck team struggles to get along with Max. Roy Orbison Jr. and family arrive for their third charter with Captain Sandy. Kelly, how excited were you to see the Orbison fam?
Oh, so excited to see them on this charter. I think that was a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We didn't know.
No, we didn't know.
They're such a fun group, and I just love how excited the whole group was to see Captain Sandy.
Yeah.
But I didn't know who the guy from Jackass was, and I was a pretty religious Jackass watcher back in the day, so I don't...
Yeah, did Jackass go on like a lot longer than we were watching it, and it's somebody that came later, maybe?
I think so, because he was part of the movies.
Okay.
And I don't think I ever was like, I'm going to pay money to watch this happen again.
I remember Steve-O.
Yeah.
And I remember, what was his name? Party Guy? Party Boy?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
That's like all I remember. So.
And it was Steve-O. Who was the little guy?
I don't remember his name.
Anyway, I saw them in concert.
I don't know.
Yeah. Luckily we got those tickets from the radio station and we didn't have to pay for it.
Okay, that's good. So when the episode starts out, the boat has just docked. Haley and Max are arguing during the docking, and Sandy can see that they're not communicating.
This is quite obvious, and it's starting to become an issue, and I'm just wondering what's really going on here.
Yeah, it's hard to tell exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So the guests depart, and the tip meeting. Sandy reminds everyone that not only does she need to earn their respect, but they need to earn hers. I don't know exactly what she's saying. She's trying to comment on some things that happen this charter without, I guess, calling out people.
Yeah.
Directly.
And I think this is like an umbrella.
Yeah.
Of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good call.
So the tip is $26,000. That's $2,000 per person. And
wow.
Toomey said the tip makes this trip hurt a little less. So the crew is getting ready to go out, and Max comes out to the crew mess. He takes one look at Laura, and he can't believe how good she looks. And she says, "I clean up well." And he shakes her hand.
He's so weird. Like, just so off. So, and not only that, but then Nat gets a text from her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, have fun while you're out with the crew, and remember how much I really care about you. And then something like, basically, don't hurt me. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. But at the same time, I'm like, you're doing whatever you want with whomever.
Right.
And no wonder her brain is all over the place.
Right. Yeah, this is odd. I mean, they're obviously building up to something that's going to happen. But I'm like, okay, we got it. Like, what's going to happen? So,
and what is going to happen, Sarah?
Well, I think it's going to involve Luca. Speaking of which, at dinner, Natalia is pretty flirty with Luca and he with her, and everyone's getting along really well. And the drinks are really flowing. So
everybody's just like they're very, very thirsty.
They're lubricated.
Yeah.
So now they head to the club. Natalia, Kyle, and Toomey are talking, and Natalia suggests that they all have a reset, just a clean slate. And this is like the first time that a boat problem has been resolved on a night out, or supposedly solved.
So how long do you think this is going to last? Let's take bets. Let's take like
I would say like a couple hours into the next charter.
That I was going to say the next episode, someone's going to explode and it's all going to be downhill.
Yeah.
So we don't have a lot of faith in these guys, Sarah.
No. So Haley apologizes to Max for telling him to shut up. That was nice, I guess. back on the boat, it's jacuzzi time. Max and Laura.
I was slightly caught off guard with this whole activity. I was like, who's making out with who on the stairs?
Yeah, I had to rewind.
And then the camera people like did all their maneuvering. Yeah. Do you think they heard that? Do you think
Big Brother's watching? Yeah, probably.
So it was Max. No, it was Luke and Laura.
No, I thought it was Max and Laura.
I think it was Luke and
Luca?
Luca.
Really?
And Laura. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now we're not sure. Oh my gosh. All right, man. We'll have to watch somebody.
Nonetheless, Laura,
yes,
a very out lesbian, was making out with one of the men from the crew.
Yes. And then she tried to explain it away in her green screen, like, oh, it's nothing, it was like, it'd be like kissing your brother. Then she's like, wait a second. No, I don't like incest. Just stop talking. Everyone is partying in the hot tub except Jessika, who is hugging the toilet. She had a lot to drink. And
yes, she did.
Natalia is trying to decide whether she should kiss Luca or not. And eventually she leaves his cabin and goes to bed.
That is some restraint, my friend. Like, serious. Ooh. I don't think I could have. No.
No. Okay.
Pretty sure no.
Okay. The next day, Jessica's throat hurts. Now, question. Is she just hungover, or is her throat hurting from all the yakking she did the night before?
Dude, seriously. Like, come on, man. She wasn't feeling bad before she went out.
Exactly. So I can't believe there's a charter already in a few hours. Usually they get like a whole day out after they have one of these wild nights.
Yeah.
We see a couple instances of Max saying no to Luca on deck, and he deliberately disobeys an order. This is not good.
And Max, he's blaming his, he can blame his ADHD. He can blame his Frenchness. I don't know what else to call it. Just his lack of understanding English, and that's fine. But he's just being rude.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious he understood, but he's just like, no, we're going to do it. I'm going to do it this way. Yeah. So the preference sheet meeting, Roy Orbison Jr. is coming back.
Yay!
And he really kept this secret. And as soon as I watched this episode, I messaged him and Osa and I said, you guys kept such a good secret. Because I'm trying to think, I don't know when this was filmed, but did we talk to him after he had filmed this or before? I don't know.
I'm thinking this was filmed about a year ago.
Okay, I'd have to look back at the date that we talked to him.
Or maybe just after BravoCon last year, which was mid-October.
Yeah.
So maybe, because I feel like
I don't know.
Anyway, we've talked to him since they taped.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So it's Osa, Roy, and their 3 kids, and Roy's younger sister and brother-in-law, and Danger from Jackass, who we've already discussed. We don't remember.
But it's so exciting. I'm so excited for this charter.
Ranger, quit.
What is he doing?
Getting into the cords under my computer. I just heard the surge protector lift off the ground.
He's a saboteur.
Yeah. So these are the things they require: a high chair, a bassinet. They need some vegetarian and kid-friendly alternatives, and they want lots of water sports.
This is gonna be fun.
Is always a good group.
So excited.
Natalia loves kids. She used to be a kid coordinator on yachts, so that's perfect. And
that's interesting. Who knew?
Yeah. Jessika tells Captain Sandy that she is sick, and she heads to the hospital.
Okay, so her stomach is gurgling, her throat hurts. I think what she needs, and this is just me in my, old wives' tale pharmacology experience. I think she needs a greasy sandwich and a Coke or a Red Bull.
Ginger ale.
Sprite, ginger ale. And I think she'll be fine. And, last year this happened with Reagan, the bosun who was on for just a few episodes. And Reagan told Sandy that she wasn't feeling well. And Sandy
did she say she had called her food poisoning or something?
Yeah. And Sandy flat out said, no, it's called a hangover.
Right. She knows.
So I'm curious why we aren't doing that with Jessika.
Right. Exactly. So Luca tells Laura that she's going to be the lead deckhand, and she's so happy that she cries. This was very sweet.
I'm so happy for her. What a great honor. And you could tell she's truly appreciative of this promotion. I don't think we've ever experienced that from anybody.
Yeah. Like, I don't
So
think she was expecting it.
Mm-mm.
It was sweet. So the guests arrived. The two older boys look so cute in their like little nautical striped shirts.
And their hats. Oh my gosh. And they run up and give Sandy the biggest hugs. And it's like their family. It's just so neat to see.
Remember what Roy told us in his interview that last time they ran up and said, "Why did you fire Kiko?"
Yeah.
And then they cut that part. So funny. Okay, so right off the bat, we have water sports time.
This looks so much fun. Look, I've never wanted to do water sports so much, except after watching this group.
Yeah.
But the water was it's so sapphire blue. It's just absolutely stunning.
It's so pretty.
I wanted to hang out and play.
For sure. So again, we have Luca telling Max, like, hey, don't do that. He's like a little kid, Kelly.
Honestly. Like, what is happening with him?
I don't know. So it's dinner time at 6:30, I might add. This is our kind of dinner time.
Yes, it is.
And the guests requested 5-star dining for kids. And Jack said that's like a Happy Meal with octopus or dinosaur-shaped foie gras.
I would say dino nugs. Like, get some dino nugs. And the kids would have been like, this is amazing.
They'd love it. They probably have sophisticated palates, these Orbison boys.
Oh, I'm sure. So maybe they do like honey mustard instead of barbecue sauce with their chicken nugs.
Maybe. Yeah. Sandy asks the Jackass guy about his injuries, and he said he broke his neck twice, I guess, during making like Jackass 2, and he ruptured a testicle. And Roy the Third asks, how do you live? Good question, kid.
Dangerously, man. Dangerously.
I love him.
Yeah.
So Sandy and the guests love the food. And so the deckhands during dinner, they're struggling getting the jet skis and the tender on board with these swells. Yeah. And the tender's swinging. Sandy runs up top and tells Luca it's too windy to be bringing the tender on board during dinner. I never thought about the timing of this.
Yeah.
So he needs to check with her first.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
She said he's acting just like the engineer that he is and not a bosun. Like, you need to think about what's going on with the guests and stuff, not just like getting your work done.
Yeah. And I thought about that too. I thought it was distracting during dinner because they were just talking and then a jet ski just comes by. The kids loved it though.
Yeah, the kids loved it. So Toomey cannot believe how relaxed these guests are. They all go to bed at like 10 p.m. So that's good for everybody.
She's going to love us.
I know.
She's our chief stew.
We're like, we're going to have a pajama party, dinner at 6. And we just want to hang out and like watch a movie. And then we're going to bed.
Yeah, pretty much.
The next day, Max is late to his shift. Luca is annoyed. And Sandy is having Luca be in charge of the anchor hauling. And so he's basically going to do what Captain Sandy usually does. And then Laura and Max are pulling up the anchor and are, of course, arguing. And Sandy goes down to see what they're arguing about.
I truly think that Max is not liking that Laura is his superior on deck. Yeah. And I think he doesn't want to do what he's asked of by anybody or told to do. He's just being a jerk. Yeah.
It's like, since I can't understand everything he says, I don't really know what's going on, but both girls have been like, shut up. Like,
he seems to constantly tell them what to do when they're trying to guide him on how they've been doing things and how it should be done on this boat. Right. He just doesn't want to hear it. And so I heard him say a couple of times in the episode that it was all about their ego, the girls' ego, the women's. And I'm like, what? Let's talk about ego here for a second, sir. Yeah. Like,
interesting. So this is where the episode ends. And I'm thinking Max may not be around for too long.
I think, should we take bets on this one too?
Yes. Okay. Let's see. This is, I don't know what charter number this is. This is episode 5. I give him till episode 7.
Oh, that's what I was supposed to say too. I'll say 8.
Okay. So I think he'll go. I'll say he'll be around yeah, maybe he'll get fired in 7. We'll see. I don't know. Sorry, Max. Everybody seems to really like him, though, as far as like, oh, he's so funny. Like, is he? I can't really understand what he's saying.
Maybe that's why he's funny.
Yeah. All right, let's take a quick break and we'll come back with Hot Tub Convo. It's time for Hot Tub Convo, where we discuss what's happening with our favorite Below Deck cast members.
Listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Margot from Down Under
Mm-hmm.
was a guest on the House of Bravo podcast recently, and she spilled some juicy tea.
Mm-hmm.
There was a whole beach picnic setup where it was just her and Joao so this was the last season of Below Deck Down Under.
Mm-hmm.
And he told her that he liked her, and he gave this whole speech about how she's different and not like anyone he's ever met. And she was so confused because he was pursuing Zarina at that time.
Right. This is
what the
so
heck, man?
Crazy. And also, why wasn't this shown? Like, where were the cameras? You know, there had to be cameras there.
Man.
Just bizarre. I mean, the web he weaves, like, it's really getting complicated.
Well, it just proves everything that Zarina told us last time when we talked to her, that he's just a narcissist.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So Kyle and Jessika were on Watch What Happens Live last week. This was Kyle's 4th time on the show, believe it or not. And Kyle teased that later this season, Sandy gets really angry at a charter guest.
Oh, no.
And he said it's the angriest he's ever seen any captain get.
Wow.
So can't wait for that. Sounds exciting. Yeah. Andy asked Kyle who he's excited to hang out at BravoCon with, or who he's excited to meet. And he said Sonia Morgan because he loved Crappy Lake so much. And
that's so cool.
I so wish I could be there for the meeting of those two. Can you imagine? Two really big and hilarious personalities.
Yeah.
Another thing I found out is Jessika never really watched Below Deck before. They played like a trivia game and she really couldn't answer any of the questions.
Really?
I feel like that's kind of rare at this point. Most people are Below Deck fans before they get on the show. So,
interesting.
But they both look great. They did a great job.
Awesome. So, it's good that Kyle was on the show on Watch What Happens Live because that means he's feeling better. So
I know. He looked healthy and he looked good.
Awesome.
So that's good news.
Sarah, we have a listener comment. You ready?
Yes.
Last week at Snowbuck wrote, I have questions. Norma said she didn't have a bosun, but Max was a bosun on his last boat.
Good point.
Then this week, they wrote us and said, okay, I need to retract my comments about Norma. Clearly, if Max was a bosun, it was on a rowboat at the most. He is easy on the eyes, but it ends there. Also, I was nervous to listen to the pod giving your seeming affections for Kyle, but so far, fair and balanced, as they say.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, people feel very strongly about Kyle one way or another.
Right.
People are calling him vile Kyle, which I hate.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I mean, I get that he gossips, but like, I love him.
He's always been really kind to us.
Yeah.
We've had he's always been fun with us and just straightforward. I don't know. He's just a fun guy.
I just think he's fun. I also just have a thing for like snarky gay men. Fun.
Tall, very tall, snarky gay men. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, but I'm glad to hear that we are, fair and balanced for people that don't like Kyle as well. But, give him a chance. Give him a chance.
That's right.
Okay. We got a message from Zarina this week. And apparently she was really serious when she said she wanted us to find her a boyfriend at BravoCon. And
let me write it on our list of things to do.
I know. So I'm just going to play this clip, although I'm realizing it's on my phone. So hold on a second.
Okay, maybe do a full cardboard cutout of me, life size, and saying, like, would you date this woman? Looking for a husband, I mean, I'm really dental at the moment, so I'm going for a dentist. Anyone from Bravo I'll be happy with. She wished would be better, doesn't have to be a not too fussy, someone that will look after me. Okay? Maybe I'll just write you out a full dating CV. It might help.
Oh my God.
I love her so much.
Okay, I'm turning my thing back down. There we go. She's so funny. I mean, this is going to be tough. She said it could be somebody from Bravo, but there's so many toxic men.
Yeah.
It's either their
unless it's Captain Jason.
I know Captain Jason's the one. I did suggest Captain Carey
Ooh.
as an alternative. I don't know what their age difference is though. He's probably I don't know if he's older than Captain Jason or the same age. I don't know.
I don't know, but that's not always a bad thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. So Zarina, we will be thinking about this.
Absolutely.
Maybe Jewish, must take care of her. Obviously has to be good looking. We're going to be on the lookout.
We're going to be playing a little matchmaker. Matchmaker.
Okay, so stay tuned.
Excellent. It's time for our segment, Join Me in the Wheelhouse, where we decide who needs to see Captain Sandy for a stern talking to. So Sarah, for this week, who gets your vote?
Max for talking back and just in general for being a doofus.
Ditto, my friend. Ditto.
Oh, Max, I have a feeling we'll be calling you more than once to the wheelhouse, but get on up here. That's it for this week's episode of Above Deck. Thank you to our team at Hurrdat Media, especially our producer, Grace. And please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And please tell a friend. And don't forget to rate and review us 5 stars only.
Please follow us on Instagram at abovedeckpod. You can email us at abovedeckpod@gmail.com. Don't forget, you can watch us on the Hurrdat Media YouTube channel too. Until next week, I'm Kelli Busby.
And I'm Sarah Goldman. See you next time.